1950 to 1924. And he was looking, or he was doing, comparing biology, it is called nowadays. So what was he doing? He was looking at more or less at the evolution. What he did precisely was he more or less proved the idea given from Charles Darwin about evolution, that all the animals and all the living human beings have been running through an evolution. And you know, the survival of the fittest, the creature which is adapted most to the surrounding conditions, will be able to reproduce itself and thereby create and will stay on this in this area where it is living and is adapted to the conditions surrounding it. And he was proving it by comparing the skeleton of mammals and human beings. And there, looking at the upper extremities, he said, look, all the extremities from a human arm, a cat foot, foot of a whale, or the wing of a bat, they have equal architectural principles, like upper arm, metacarpals, fingers, and so on. So, form follows function is the idea which is related to evolution. That means a long, long period, we guess about more than a billion years of evolution of humankind and of mammals even longer. So it is very, I guess it is risky to transfer the discoveries of those solutions of this research to orthodontics, because we treat within one lifespan, one individual, and we treat quite a short time, 2 years, 3 years, maybe 5, no longer. Yeah? And what we're looking in the rules principle is the rules which have defined the evolution. But there is another one, Wolff's Law. Wolff was also a scientist, together with some other contemporary scientists. He was looking at the ultrastructure of bones, and he found that bone adapt in the ultrastructure to the functional load. So this trabecular architecture of the femur is created the way this bone was loaded by functional activity. So Wolff's Law is more or less the basic idea of functional orthopedics, which means the use of physiotherapy, for example, the idea of early treating congenital malformations of the skeleton in order that this is corrected, and the corrected function helps to create normal growth. So it is Wolff and Wolff's Law about the functional adaptation of bones to the load provided leads to a certain structure. But this has nothing, really nothing to do with the length of such a bone or the size of the bone. This deals with the ultrastructure, the microscopic ultrastructure, the histology of the bone. Yeah? So we cannot just say Wolff has described that bones adapt to function. Yes, this is true, but he did not talk about the amount of growth. He did not talk about stimulating or reducing the amount of growth. He just talked about how will this bone look like in his ultrastructure, in the trabecular situation, in the density of the bone, in the thickness of cortical bone, in the relation between sponges and cortical bone structures, but not in terms of growth in length or width. So this also indicates that obviously we can influence bone by functional loading, by modifying functional load, but it is an open question whether we can stimulate growth or reduce the amount of growth. This is a different question. Yeah? So, for example, if you ask your children to do a lot of sports, without doubt, this will be helping them to become a healthy, good, structured skeleton, muscles, cardiac system, and so on. So, the impact of doing a lot of sports on children is without any doubt. This is a positive impact. But they will not become taller. Certainly not. If their probably genetically determined body height is, I don't know, I just say any number, 1.80 meters, they will be somewhere around that. They will not become 190 or 170 in not doing sports and 190 in doing sports. Yeah? So this is obviously true, and this is what Wolff's law dealing about. So this means also the impact of function is proven. The impact of function on the development of skeleton system is proven. It is proven in long range by Roux concerning or looking at evolution, and it is proven within a lifespan, within an individual, by Wolff. But this has nothing to do with the amount of growth. Yeah? So we have to separate these different terms from one another, and this is what I wanted to do in this first general introduction to the problem of growth. Now, what is growth? What else is growth? I mean, growth, everybody associates with something that becomes bigger, longer, thicker, higher, whatever. But we also associate with growth of a human being or of an animal something like maturation, maturity. There we can look at biological maturity in terms of puberty, for example. But we also can look to children in pre-puberal age and say, yes, this child looks like a child of a certain age. And this child looks younger, and that one looks older for age. So obviously, we have in our mind certain criteria, certain aspects, pictures we associate between the age of the child and its appearance. Prepuberal, there is little impact on the gender. So, female, girls, and boys, prepuberal, they are pretty similar. Postpuberal, that of course, becomes different. Postpubertal individuals, they have gender-specific appearances. Now, that shows us that obviously growth in height or growth in mass also brings about a change in appearance. Yeah? And this is what could be explained by this very, very old drawing. It is made somewhere 500 years ago by an artist, probably an Italian artist in the period of Renaissance, trying to find out rules for proportions. So this has, precisely speaking, nothing to do with exact sciences. It is more the artistic impression. What did he do? You see, he started with a fetus. A fetus, he gave 5 months of pregnancy. Yeah? Once again, this is not scientifically precise. And this fetus, he subdivided into 10 equal proportions. And what do you see here? You see that the head, the total head, skull and face together make up more than 30, almost 35% of the whole body height. So the head in early development is very big, very tall. Yeah? The body is relatively long, but the legs and the arms are very, very short. So if you look at this individual, or at this figure here, you would say absolutely disproportional. Now go to the adulthood, and now you see a male 25, and you look